Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Rope and Ranch channel. I'm Red Lilac 78, or as most of you guys know me is Red. I am the creator of ropeandranch.com, which is an online web game where you can breed and train horses, goats, cattle, and poultry. And soon we will be adding multiple different species into the game, and we would love to see you there. On top of that, I love doing streams here where I play Sims, Minecraft, Star Stable, and lots of others. So thank you again for visiting my channel, and let's jump into the video for the day. Welcome back, everybody, to part 3 of my video here of Let's Ride Silver Buckle Stables. This game originally was on PS2. It is now on Steam for a game that you can play, and I have been running through this game. This is my first horse game that I ever played. And I decided to do a playthrough of it here for you guys to see. And we are currently on my horse, Mystic. This is Mystic right here. She is my black and white paint. She only has 2 hearts at the moment. You can get up to 5. So I'm using her in some of these easier competitions. This game does not have a storyline, so a lot of it is literally just compete, and get up to the top, which has been taking a good amount of time. I actually thought that I could get through this game in a couple playthrough videos, but, you know, now we're on part 3. I'm not sure how amazing she's gonna do considering she only has 2 hearts. But I'm hoping it'll average out so that she can win another heart at this competition and then slowly start getting better, so that I can get all 4 of my horses to have 5 hearts. But if she is not doing good, we'll have to change to my horse Sweetie, which was the first horse I have, and I did max her out last video. So we will be able to ride Sweetie if Mystic is not doing well. As you can tell, I'm a sucker for the paints. And the coats here are not the best coats in the world, so a lot of it is just not very good anyways. We're only about 1 second behind. We're gonna keep trying. I think after about 5 or 6 competitions, I might actually be able to get to a good point here. I like doing these older videos just because there's so many times where, like, I use ideas from some of these older games where I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about doing this, or oh my gosh, this is a fun idea, or, you know, things like that where it's a good reminisce and it's a good kind of shout out to some of these older games. So, slow and steady. Oh my gosh, little Simsy just posted a surprise announcement, and why? Why do my first thought go to that she's pregnant? Oh my gosh, if little Simsy's pregnant, I'm going to cry. Because I know she just got married. No, never mind. Okay, it's about her shop. Wait, no, don't get off the horse. Sorry, I was looking at little Simsy. Oh my gosh, I thought that it was gonna be... It's cute, though. We have seen some excellent times on this event today. This video is being filmed right back to back, so today is currently, what is the date today? March 27th, and I officially I have almost exactly a month from moving. Oh my, am I having a stroke? We are going to be moving officially on May 11th. So it is one of those things where it's just moving quickly. I'm trying to get as much content and stuff recorded. I don't know how long until I get my PC back up and running for streaming and doing videos. I also don't know how soon after we move I will start actually being able to code and work on stuff. But I do know that I'm trying so hard to finish the conversion of the game before I move. Now, there's a few pages and features that I do want to change. And so because of that, I think I'm going to leave them till the end, and they will be something that I have to work on after the move. For example, the horse profile, the goat profile, the cow profile, those are all going to be things that most likely will be after the move. And then shows are going to be changing, how those work. The pastures, how they are going to change. The forms are going to change. The tacking process for horses on the game is going to change. So some of those features are kind of held off to the end anyways. But in total, there's 40 pages left. And I'm currently working on the mailbox. So I'm going to get that one finished most likely today, and then move on to some of those other pages that are lower end and not as hard. I've started resulting in using a spinner wheel, putting all of the file names that are left, and then spinning the file wheel to pick which pages I do next, which is chaotic in itself. Oh, we're just 1 second away. I just gotta get 1 second better than her. I can do this. Go. Every second counts. Come on. Woo! I'm not gonna die. Okay. So we're gonna have 2 new competitions after this. Every time we step up to a new tier, we get new competitions. So the new 2 competitions will be after this figure 8 flag. This is my least favorite competition. I normally always suck at it until I get faster on my horse. And obviously after I do it a couple of times. Okay, we're still there. Next is Holes 2. Okay, so this is the one that you guys know from Star Stable. Oh gosh. Take it home, take it home. Ah! But oh my goodness. This horse reminds me so much of my first horse, Star. I talk about her in the last video. But it looks so much like her. Oh my goodness. But I do love my 2 girls. They might be chaotic though. My girls are absolute demons. We had this one time, we were going to Thanksgiving, which was down the road at my grandmother's house. So typically we won the buckle! Red roan coat. Okay, cool. We'll go check that out. But my grandmother's house was down the road. We typically loaded up all of the food into the car, and then we went over to her house. We had this situation where we loaded up the food. We all got into the car. We all decided it was, time to head on out. And gotta select this. We drove out our front gate, which our front gate is an automated gate. So when you go and open it, it opens, and then you just kind of go through the gate. And then when you get off of the pad being not having a car on it, the sensor closes the gate. Well, there's a time period between you getting off of the sensor and, the gate actually closing. And we were so, like, delayed on time trying to get to my grandmother's house on time that none of us decided to look behind us as we left. And my girls, being absolute idiots that they are, knew that the whole time that we were loading up the car that it had food. Like, the whole time that we were doing it, they knew that there was food in the back of this freaking car. They kept trying to get to it. We kept having to shoo them away. My dad kept yelling at them and, like, lifting his hands up, and then they go running away and, like, farting and, like, leaping. All of the normal horse behavior. And so we get out of the gate, and we're halfway down the road, and we get a phone call, or I get a phone call as I'm driving, like, we're driving away, and it's my best friend Danielle, and Danielle's like, hey, so you know that, like, your girls are following you? And we look in the rearview mirror, and April and Opal are literally running after the car down the road as we're driving away. And so my dad's like, God damn it. So he slams on his brakes. And, most of the time in my dad's truck, we had lead ropes in the vehicle just because sometimes if the animals got out, you wanted to have a lead rope ready to grab someone. And so it was just good practice to always have a lead rope in your car. And so we jump out of the vehicle, and as soon as the girls see that I am out of the car, they're like, oh crap, mom's coming. And so they take off running the other direction. No! Get back on. They take off the other direction and decide to detour down into our neighbor's property. So they're running, just full on barreling down my neighbor's property. And they have all of their family over for Thanksgiving. So all of their family comes out into the yard, and they're like, horses! And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And all the kids are like scream laughing because they're thinking it's the funniest thing that the horses are there. And the girls are just running, and April's honking with her breath, and, like, how horses are getting dramatic. And I'm just like, oh my freaking goodness. And so I yelled at them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, do one of you guys have carrots? Because carrots are April's favorite thing in the world. And so I'm like, does anyone have carrots? And so they go running inside, and of course it's Thanksgiving, so everybody has food. And they're like, oh, well, I've got a carrot. And so I start yelling, I'm like, April, I've got carrots! April's head shoots up. She turns to me, her ears perk, and she comes trotting on over to me, and I'm like, come here, you stupid idiot. And so I had to grab her, put my lead rope around her, and I'm leading her away. And as I'm leading her away, Opal is like, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? And so Opal's like trotting after us. And so I'm parading my horses down the road. All of our neighbors are out at this point. They're just watching me as I'm taking both horses down the road. Cars are all stopping in the road laughing, and my dad's just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be late, and it just was this whole ordeal. But, like, my girls, that's how stupid my little idiots are. We're 1 second behind. We're doing good. My girls are just absolute dorks. But I feel like all of my animals are like that. I mean, we've got Queso. Queso is our goat. He was given to us because he kept jumping the fence and wanting to hang out with the other goats back when he was when he was intact. But he wasn't intact when we got him, so I don't know if, like, the guy fixed him and then he still kept jumping. I don't know, because Queso was fixed when we got him. But when we got him, he was probably about 2 or 3 years old. I mean, his horns were long when we got him. And so I would think that he was 2 or 3 years old. He is still alive, and he is the funniest goat ever. He loves to play. He loves beer. He loves just, like, being one of the boys. My dad has stories on how he would like have people come over and work on the property, or like he would have painters or like roofers come out, and you know they would bring beer, and how they'd be outside just drinking beer with Queso, because Queso was like, yeah, let me have some of that. He loves Dr. Pepper, he loves Sour Patch Kids, like he is the funniest goat ever. And when I finally, when my dogs passed away, I had two dogs growing up, Bella and Bo. But when Bella and Bo passed away, it was probably a year, maybe 2 years after they passed. I didn't have like a running buddy anymore, but I really wanted to be going to the park and like running. We had these big park winding roads that you could go jogging on. And so I decided that I would start taking Queso. So I would pull my car up into the pasture. I'd say, "Come on, Queso, let's go." And Queso would come running, and he has arthritis. So I normally would give him something before, but he'd come running up. He would load right up into the back of my car. I'd have his little collar on. He had a little click collar, like a dog. I had his little lead rope, and we would go to the park. And I'd get him out, and we would go running down the trails, and he'd run right beside me the whole time. And he was my little partner, which was great, but it was also hilarious because like people walking their dogs would stop and look at us and be like, "What the hell is that?" And there would me and Queso, and like Queso could hold his own. So like sometimes the owners would be like, can I come see him, like with my dog next to me?" And Queso wasn't scared of no dog. And if he felt threatened, he just would immediately drop his head down with his horns, and the dog pretty much like left him alone. Was like, "Oh hell no. Like this is a bad idea." So, we would just go out, and sometimes I would stop, and I know one time I stopped at Sonic before I got to the park, and I got myself a burger and some fries, and I got some extra fries for Queso. So we go to the park, and we're sitting down, and I'm sitting at one of the places, and he's eating fries and I'm eating my burger, and all of a sudden this raccoon comes out from the forest, and he's like looking at me, and he's like, "You have food." And I mean, obviously raccoons are attracted to food. And so I was like, "Oh, you want a fry?" And so like I toss him a fry, and Queso gets pissed. Queso's like, "That was my fry." So Queso starts like meep 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 meep, like making little like protective goat noises. I don't know. And he's like trying to, you know, defend me against this freaking raccoon who just wants a fry. And so I take a video of it, and I send it to my mom. And my mom is like, "Oh my gosh, look at that, we got a buckle. Appaloosa coat," which is different than the leopard coat, I guess. The spotted coat. My mom's like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that you have a raccoon out there with you." So I guess for some reason my mom decided to call the police. She was telling them that some rabid raccoon was out, like coming after me. Which was, again, not at all what was happening. I don't know why she decided that that was the brilliant idea to do. But she tells the police that this rabid raccoon is after me. And I'm like, whatever. And so I'm sitting there eating my food. And all of a sudden this officer approaches me, and he goes, "Ma'am, are you the one with the goat?" And Queso like looks up, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "We got a report that you had some rabid animal out here." And I was like, I had a raccoon walk up to me earlier, and it asked me for some fries." And he's like, "It asked you for some fries?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, like, it came up to me, and, you know, I gave it some fries, but I said, but then my goat scared it away because my goat started beeping at it." And the officer's just looking at me, and he goes, "Ma'am, do you come out here often with your goat?" And I was like, yeah, Queso's my running partner." And the guy's just like looking at me. And I was like, would you like to pet him? And the guy's like, no. Do you know where the raccoon went? And I was like, no. It just kind of went back into the forest over there. And I like point at the forest and the guy's like, uh-huh. But we used to go through and get pup cups at Starbucks. We used to go do all these things together. He's probably so old now. Because, I mean, he was alive when I moved. I've been out here now for, what, almost 5 years? And he was like 2 or 3 when we got him. And I had him for maybe 3 years. He's probably like 14 years old. Like, this goat is old. But he's still going. I mean, he's great. He has arthritis, like I said, and so every once in a while, you know, we have to give him some medication in order to help him get through the pain. But I mean, like, Queso's freaking amazing. Like, everybody who's ever met Queso on my ranch is like, I love Queso. So, which leads us to the code word for this episode. If you guys are still watching, don't forget to drop a subscription. We are trying to get to 700 subscribers by the end of March. But also, if you drop your username and the code word queso, then you will get 50,000 coins in-game. Just make sure to use it in a sentence, something that's a little suspicious for everybody else. And that way, you know, you can get the coins and we can go through it. But it's a fun little way that I have been dropping in like a little code word for everybody so that if you are the kind of person that watches my videos and you get a reward every time, it's just like a little fun thing to do. So I've got a few videos on here. All of my Let's Ride plays here that I have done today all have code words. So feel free to go through them again, take a look at them and see what code words you can find. And then if you also want, I have my farm together, my rain ravine video, and I've got my breed to 100 video. All 3 of those also have code words in them right now. So I'm trying to do it on all of my newer videos. It's just something I'm trying to remember to do. So feel free to go take a look at those as well after you finish this one. If you want to finish this one, if you don't, whatever, you got the code word, move on. I get points for every minute that you guys watch. And I have to have 4,000 minutes of watching minutes for me to qualify for monetization status. So the more that you guys watch, even if you watch the videos in the background, you just let them play, let me talk. I think, hell, if you even mute me, I will earn those points, which is super helpful to me. I definitely appreciate it. And it definitely gets me some points, and we can slowly get our YouTube up and running to where I can actually make some money off of ads, which would be amazing. If I can make some money off of ads, it's another revenue stream that I have going that will help me with doing more on the game, more commissions, things like that. So definitely appreciate it. Just listening to my games or my videos on kind of blah 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 is very, very helpful. Look at us, we're in first place now. We're almost done. Keyhole. And I love to yap, so I actually thought about 3 different stories that I wanted to talk about. Since this game isn't very content filled, it's more of just race. I thought of 3 like stories that I could tell you guys during this video. My first one was about the, you know, obviously the Thanksgiving horses. Second one was telling you guys about queso. But my third story I've got for you guys today on this video is about my chicken named Hawk. So we've got a 12 by 12 coop on our property, as well as a 12 by 12 run on our property. I know it all comes back together to the same run and everything that I have on the game. Holes 1. Okay. And every night we have to go and close the door that the chickens are in. So they free range all day long, and then at about like sunset, we go out there and we will close the door so that they are closed in for the night. And we've got a little kiddie pool for the ducks and the geese so that they can, like, you know, be in water. And it's short enough that they can, like, stand in it. You know, nobody's gonna drown. Of course, why would any duck or chicken or duck or a goose drown in a small kiddie pool if they can touch the ground? Yeah, we didn't think about the chickens. So I don't know how this happened. I don't know. I don't know how this happened. But pretty much, our goose, Galileo, she was dealing with a situation where when she was sleeping, she was tucking her head under her wing. And then she would wake up and her head would be stuck under her wing, and then she'd flip herself over in panic, and she'd literally be upside down with her legs flapping in the air as she's trying to figure out how she got stuck, and we kept calling it her pretzel. We kept saying that Galileo, or Gally, was pretzeling herself in the coop. And so this was like the 4th or 5th day in a row that Gally freaking pretzeled herself. I don't know how she was doing it. I don't know why she wasn't learning. Did we get her? Oh, we got one more. And so we walk down there and we're like, oh my gosh, where's Gally? Where's Gally? We can't find Gally. Where is she? And all of a sudden we hear, honk! I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, Gally! And then I hear, honk! I'm like, okay, Gally! Honk! And I'm like, what is happening? And somehow, ooh, please, please, please. Ooh, okay. Cremello coat. And so now we have maxed out this horse. Cool. Accept. Continue. No. So I look over, and next to the pool, between the pool and the fence, Gally is laying on the ground, pretzeled. I have no idea how she managed to pretzel herself between the fence and the freaking thing. No idea. But she did. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Gally, like, what is going on? So I pick her up and I unpretzel her, and she's like, honk! And she, like, goes back into the coop. And my mom's like, man, like, what is there anything that we can do to keep Gally from pretzeling herself? Like, how does this keep happening? And we're discussing it. And then all of a sudden I go, Mom. And my mom's like, what? And I'm like, look at the pool. And she looks over at the pool, and in the pool, floating, beak down, both wings out, like floating, is a chicken. And I'm like, what? And I'm sitting here thinking, did Gally, like, get a chicken in there and fight it, and then, like, lost the battle and fell out? And, like, we were just staring at this chicken. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Hawk. Like, Hawk's dead. And so we pick up Hawk, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she's hard and she's cold, and, like, how did this happen? And Hawk was a smaller chicken. She was considered like a bantam Americana. But she's so small. And so I was like, how did this happen? And my mom's holding her, and she's like, oh, Hawk, I'm so sorry. And she's, like, crying and holding Hawk in her arms. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Mom, Hawk is breathing. And my mom's like, what? And I said, Mom, Hawk is breathing. So we go running up to the house. so fast. And we grab all of these different materials, like literally to the point, like, so my friend Danielle was over, or maybe she wasn't. Maybe Danielle was just at home and she lived across the street from me. And so I remember I called Danielle because she came over, and we grabbed a heating pad. We grabbed a blow dryer. My mom grabbed like a little like mouth or like a little dropper that you would drop medication in. And so my mom flips Hawk over onto her back and begins to do CPR mouth to mouth to this chicken. In our kitchen, my dad comes out. He's like, what is happening? And my mom is literally on the ground, her thumbs between Hawk's little chest plate, and is like pumping this chicken, mouth to beaking it on the ground. And my dad's like, oh my gosh, guys, like, she's gone. Like, what are you doing? And so my mom's like, you know, does this a couple times, and then she like flips Hawk over and she's like smacking Hawk in the back. And she's like flipping her back over on the back and like pumping her. And I'm like sitting here like, what is happening? And so I go and I grab some Vicks Vapor Rub, which I don't know if this is a thing, but this is a thing that we do on our ranch. Whenever our animals are in shock, we put Vicks Vapor Rub on their nose because it is such a strong scent that it almost like distracts them from going into shock. And it kind of like brings them back to like an awareness of like logic instead of panic, because they're like, oh my gosh. And almost every animal that I have put Vicks Vapor Rub on their nose during a panic situation has survived, except one, but he had his lung punctured, so like he wasn't gonna make it. And so all of a sudden Hawk coughs and starts coughing up all of this water. And I like grab this blow dryer. We're blow drying her. We're trying to keep her warm. She's so cold to the touch. And she comes back. And literally for the next 2.5 hours, like, me and Danielle, we sat down on the couch and we were just holding Hawk bundled up in a blanket watching movies. And I'm sitting there, and Hawk's just kind of like going to sleep. She was so exhausted, and she's just like sleeping, and all of a sudden I feel this movement under the blanket that I'm holding her in, and this warmth that overcomes me. And Hawk lays an egg that has no shell in my lap. And it comes out as this watery, gushy, like, non-formed egg. And Danielle's losing it. Danielle's laughing so hard. And I'm like, get it off of me. It was disgusting. But Hawk lived. Hawk is still alive. So, that is the story of Hawk. And how she almost drowned. And how she lived through a life or death situation, in which my mom got E. coli after this, and was sick for about a week, or maybe it was salmonella. It was one of the two. She was so sick for the next like week and a half after reviving Hawk and doing mouth to beak, and after Hawk was floating in this brown, dirty, duck poopy water that was in our backyard. Yeah, my mom was so sick. But it was worth it, because Hawk survived. That is my story on Hawk. See, I'm good at stories. I knew that I could fill the gap of all of this riding and racing with stories. Okay. Ooh, moment of truth. I was 1 point away. Whew, I was scared. Another buckle. I didn't win anything with that one. Interesting. Okay, so we have one technical competition left to win all around. I don't know if I remember what happens when we win this last one. So I'm going to quickly speed through it for you guys so that we can tackle it. I think this is the best of the best.
Next contestant hails from Silver Buckle Stadium. Now we have the same.
Okay, I am back from attempting to run through this. I've tried this with 2 horses now. I cannot seem to win it. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I did feel like we pretty much got this game to completion. I'm not sure how to win this competition. Maybe I'm missing something, but I was definitely way behind by a couple seconds. So I'm not sure if there's anything else I can do in as far blah, 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 as far as making my horse go faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one looks like it could have a 6th heart there, but I don't think it can. I don't think it can. I think they're supposed to max out at 5. But either way, the last thing I want to do is look at the last coats that we won. So I'm going to put away, I'm going to select this horse, and then we can look at the last of these coat colors. So let's see. Got a burgundy bay. Oh, I'm just going through everything now. Oh, that's not even a Cremello. And Appaloosa. And what is that? Oh my gosh. So literally all of these coat colors I feel are wrong. So like if we go back to the main front of this, let's say we start here. Done. Doesn't have dorsal stripes, doesn't have anything. Brown. Technically not even a color, but it can be with the ATA gene. Bay. That looks great, other than the fact that it's extremely dark on the legs as black instead of brown. Chestnut. Looks great, except the nose muzzle is black, and it should technically be more of a light. Dun Overo. Again, no primitive markings, and it's a little bit too brown. It needs to be a little bit more yellow. Black. Sorrel. Fine, but it's very, very red, and it needs to be more of a shade of chestnut. Palomino buckskin. They're separate colors, so I don't know why they combined it and then later on made a buckskin. Black Tobignano, one of the only ones that looks correct. Gray. This is white. This is not gray. Burgundy Bay. Literally looks the same as Sorrel. Literally looks the same. Blue Roan. Looks good other than the fact it's way too white. Spotted, technically called leopard. It has no markings on the face. Sorrel overo, again, looks exactly like Burgundy Bay. Oh my gosh. Buckskin. Why did we add buckskin when we literally had a palomino / buckskin? Makes no sense. Too brown. Flea bitten. Flea bitten what? Flea bitten is almost on a gray, and this is on a brown. What does that even mean? Grello. No primitive markings. It looks... This would have been a good gray. Red roan. My heart hurts. This could have been a buckskin. Or even this could have been palomino, to be honest. Appaloosa. You mean spotted blanket. Cremello. This is white. The only thing right about this is the pink nose. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is getting me so heated. But no. Oh, okay. I thought it was Cremello, and I was like, no. But I just wanted to show you guys kind of this game. This is one of the games again I grew up with, and it's been my heart game from the start. So wanted to show you guys, wanted to give you guys the opportunity to see some playthrough on it. And I'm gonna go make some food because my tummy's growling now, and we all know that means I'm gonna pass out soon. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your afternoon, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything, and take care. Bye.